All right, Shalom, Israel, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I would love to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Bahagwadash. Double honors to the elders, the apostles of Great Millstone, who's taught us this 100% truth. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Shalom to all the Akim, Christians, truth, and sincerity. And shalom to the sincere Aquaf that may be out there watching and learning. It's the brother Yakar from the GMS Columbus, Ohio branch, coming back again with another lesson through the Spirit. And this is for, you know, certain Jakes out there that, you know, love Esau so much, or still on the fence about the so-called white man, and I just wanted to go into it a little more, just highlighting, some of the things, that Esau has done to us as a people over the course of history. Okay. And this goes back far, around the beginning, you know, um, and it's important, that we, don't join hand in hand, okay, with this devil, man. Okay. A lot of people are stuck up behind the so-called white man, which is Esau Edom, you know, according to the Bible. Okay. And the more you begin to learn and you begin to hear certain things, and you begin to realize certain things, you'll see that this man is not with us. This man is contrary to us. All right. But he was blessed with certain skills and certain things to make his case, or make the way he moves seem right, seem righteous, seem clean, seem pure. All right. So I just want to go get into a few precepts and just kind of get a general understanding as to how Esau is our enemy. All right. And he is not with us, man. And that's, for the Jakes that don't get it. All right. Because, you run into certain so-called white people that they may be cool, you know. You may feel like, okay, because I'm in good standing at my job, that means that this white man is for me. But that's not the case. All right. And to be clear, to be understood as well. All right. Our nation of people, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, the true Israelites of the Bible, all right, our people were scattered among the four corners of the world, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of all nations. All right. So you have certain Jakes, all right, that look like these white people. All right. So through the spirit, they are moving in a manner of Jake. All right. Because that's what they are. Okay. And that has to be understood first and foremost. All right. For those who don't, understand that, Lord willing, here soon I'll do another lesson, highlighting that, what I'm saying, just the scattering of our people. All right. And us being intermingled with these other nations. Okay. But neither here nor there. Majority of these people, all right, they're them devils, man. All right. And their lineage goes back to Esau Edom. It's Esau Edom. All right. So, I'm just gonna get a few precepts, Lord willing, just maybe edifying. All right. But it's to be understood that Esau, so-called white man, is our enemy. All right. And just for understanding's sake, I looked up the word enemy, just a quick Google search. I said it says an enemy is a person, group, or nation that feels deep hatred, see, acts with hostility, or actively opposes the interests, safety, or survival of another. See that? And all those things the so-called white man has done to us, especially to the so-called blacks, all right, and the Native Americans, all right. And I'm gonna get a little bit on that as well, all right, because it's to be understood and it has to be highlighted how this man is our enemy. Let's read that again. An enemy is a person, group, or nation, all right. Esau, all right, top of the 18 nations, all right, heathen nations. It says an enemy, Shalakia, let me correct myself. The 18 nations in general. All right, you got Israel, Esau, and etc. All right, just to be clear, I misjudged that a little bit. But back in it says an enemy is a person, group, or nation that feels deep hatred, acts with hostility. or actively opposes the interest, safety, or survival of another. See, that's Esau in a nutshell. That's what this white man has done to us for many, many, many years. Okay. It says enemies seek to cause harm, injury, or failure. See, the term can also describe abstract harmful forces such as bad habits or disease, and often applies to adversarial conflict and relationship. All right. So now let's go back. And this just looked up things whites did to blacks during slavery and segregation. All right, because those are points in history that are prominent. All right, to where we are today. All right, and then it gives a clear indicator as to what this man has done to us as a people. All right, and see, people tend to forget that, or people tend to want to put it aside. All right, and I'm going to go into that how this hatred and this deep rooted hatred goes back to the beginning. All right, when Esau and Jacob received their blessings. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this list. It says white Americans. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let me get this precept first, real quick. Sirach 10, and then I'm gonna jump back. Now that we understand what an enemy is. Sirach 12 and verse 10, it says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. See? Never trust thine enemy. All right. So, you putting your trust and your faith and you thinking that things are going to go your way because this white man told you something. All right. And, he has all the power. You think, okay, well, I trust this man. He's going to make sure I'm okay. Just like people put all their faith and trust in Trump. Trump even was beginning to round up Jake. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I want to vote for Trump. You know what I'm saying? He gonna do this, he gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? And all these presidents, really, you know, all these so-called white men that people voted for and was hoping that these people will make a change for the community, for the world. All right. And they always throw something in there about Jake. Oh, we're gonna do this for the this and that for the so-called black. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And people cleave to those things and people hearken into those things and feel a sense of hope given from a white man. All right, going off. All right, but let's go into this real quick. It says white Americans, particularly in the southern United States, subjected black people to severe systemic abuse during slavery and the Jim Crow segregation era. This included chattel slavery, characterized by forced labor, brutal physical punishment, and the breaking up of families, followed by an era of legal apartheid, state-sanctioned violence, and intense voter suppression designed to maintain white supremacy. And then it gives you a timeline, things done during slavery, 1619 to 1865. It says forced labor and torture. All right. Enslaved people were forced to work from sunrise to sunset, with resistance met with brutal punishment, including whipping, shackling, and sometimes death. See? Separation of families. Families were routinely broken up by the sale of spouses or children to satisfy debts or for profit. Sexual exploitation and rape. Enslaved women were subjected to widespread rape by white masters with no legal recourse, as they were legally classified as property. See that? We were property. All right. We and that's part of the reason why we have social security numbers and all these things, man. We are just property. Okay. Everything's about money. All right. Everything's about power to Esau. All right. He'll even oppress his own people. How much more you? When they say, well, we are 2/5 or 3/5 of a human, looking at us as animals, you see, slave breeding. It says in forced pregnancy, enslaved women were often forced to conceive and birth children to increase the property of their owners. Denial of education. Laws in many states strictly prohibited teaching enslaved people to read and write. See, and now why you think our people are so fried these days? Why do you think our people are so subject to gangs and All we know is pork chops and chitlins and how to throw up gang signs, or the black woman knows how to yell and scream and this and that and cuss people out. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think our people are so subject to the same old shit, man? You see? And why you see our people on the internet, people in the comment section, talking down on us, man. Look at these people, man. You got other Jakes in there, including you, including myself. Like, damn, man, this is sad. This is sad. This is the state of our people. This is what we are. You see? This shit's sad, man. You know? Ain't nothing good came out of our people, man. All right? Our people are washed up these days, man. You see? That gives us more and more and more reason to lean on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because that's all we got. Nothing in this world is gonna save us, man. But our people are caught up in that, man. And they'll let the white man tell them to put that slavery and all this shit to the side, man, and forgive and forget. Fuck this person, man. Fuck this white man. All right? Just gonna let him live freely and do what the hell he say. You see? Up under his tail, man. You know? This white man got strings around Jake, man. You see? We gotta live for the Lord, man. We can't live for this world, man. This world is designed to oppress us, man. You see? Let's read a few more. It says medical experiments. White physicians often use enslaved people as involuntary subjects for medical experiments and dissection. Come on, man. Running tests on us and shit. Testing some shit out to see if it'll work for them. You know what I'm saying? It's bad, man. Things done during segregation, Jim Crow, 1870s to 1960s. Voter disenfranchisement. White controlled government passed black codes and later used poll taxes, literacy tests, and grandfather clauses to prevent black men and women from voting. Racial terror lynching, forced segregation, convict leasing, residential segregation and redlining, economic exploitation, and so on and so forth, man. You see? And even it brings the top back right around to today. What do they got us now? They got us in a digital slavery. All right, they got us in a mental slavery. Okay, we're killing each other at an all time rate. You see, enemies within. All right, we're enemies within, man. So now they don't have to enslave us because guess what? They got it set up to where you're gonna get your ass up and you're gonna go to work. All right, you're not gonna get far. You're either gonna get your ass up and go to work and pay all these taxes and this and that, or you're gonna live on government assistance and now you're stuck in the gutter, all right, where all the killing and all that shit is going on, where all the bad food in the corner stores and shit is at. You see, systematically set you up, man. But because you see certain people making a nice amount of money, you got your rappers, you know what I'm saying? You got certain people that become high-end lawyers and this and that shit. And you think, oh man, we can make it, man. They gave us a pass. They looking out for us. What the fuck? You will never be in their position. You won't ever. Like I said, they oppress their own people. How much more are you? All right. Let's get back to the scriptures, man. All right. Um, what I got next up? First Peter, First Peter 5:8. Because these things are important, man. You gotta watch your back, man. You think they're on your team and they're for you and they're with you. They're not. That's why this precept is very important. First Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, all right, which Esau, you know what I'm saying, is Satan's physical counterpart. All right. It says, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom we may devour. You see, he's all about setting up, man. All right. And he's so slick. He's so slick with the way he moves, slick with the way he does things, slick with his mouth. All right. All these things. All right. And then he to catch you off guard, man. You see, Perfect example how they put drugs and all that shit in the hood and and was selling drugs to Jake. You know what I'm saying? Putting all these guns and everything in the hood, let you get your empire running, and then boom, he was right there. Got you in a trick bag, man. Set a trap for you. You see? And many more. There's many more examples, all right, of things that this man has done unto us as a people, all right, to keep us oppressed, to keep us down. Okay? So now let's go back to the beginning so we understand how far back and how deep this hatred goes. All right. You know, and you read this chapter, you know what I'm saying, you get the blessing, you know what I'm saying, the blessings given from the father, from Isaac. Okay. So I'm gonna start Genesis 27. I'm gonna go start at verse 38. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. See, hence why Esau runs the world, why the so-called white man is the head of all things. All right. Lord willing, that's a video I want to get done as well. You know, just highlighting, you know what I'm saying, taking a little bit deeper dive into who Esau is in general. But this is a perfect example as to as far as, you know, knowing he has the fatness of the earth. He is going to be the one that rules the world. All right. The things of the earth as of right now are his, so to speak. All right. And we know in the end, of course, all things will be turned over. All right. And we will receive everything back that we've lost. All right. But he's in control right now. All right. It says, and above and of the dew of heaven from above, and by the sword shalt thou live. Okay. Who is they got the number one militaries in the world, so-called white people, who you see on YouTube, they got these huge ass gun collections and these special weapons and this and that, so-called white people. The shit you see Jake with is on such a small scale in comparison to what Esau has. They have all these drones and missiles and fighter jets and warships and all these different things. All right, goes back to his blessing. And by the sword, what is a sword? An instrument of killing. All right. He says, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. See? And Esau hated Jacob. See? Because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him, Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then I will slay my brother Jacob. You see that? So this hate goes way back. It's a deep rooted hatred within these so called white people, man. All right. And they found and they have all the tricks and tools to trick you into thinking that they're your friend. You see? But they're not. All right. And that has to be understood. And let's go here. John 8:44. John 8:44 says, ye are of your father the devil, you know, talking about Jake. It says, in the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer, and why we are established that the devil or Satan is Esau is his physical counterpart. You got the spiritual demon Satan, you got the so-called white man, his physical counterpart. It says, in year of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father will ye do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. See? He was a murderer from the beginning. All right? After that situation with the blessing, it was over with, you know? But that was his spirit already. All right, we gotta understand that the Lord had all these things set up already. You see? So it was destined for it to go that way anyway. And we gotta understand that. Okay? It says, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. See that? He'll lie to you and trick you and do everything he can, all right, to get you to do what he pleases. All right. And he's done it for many years, many years. All right, and I wanted to touch on um um how they wiped out the Native Americans too. Did I look that up yet? Uh, let's see. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what we get out of this. Okay, let's go into it. It says the destruction of Native American peoples, cultures, and languages is widely described as a genocide resulting from centuries of violence, disease, and forced displacement. Starting in 1492, this involved warfare, massacres, forced removal, and policies designed to eliminate traditional cultures. Scholars debate the scope, but acknowledge specific events and campaigns were genocidal. You see, and something that I was told when I first came into truth, you know what I'm saying, if anyone knew that may be watching, look into the Trail of Tears. All right. It'll highlight, you know what I'm saying, the way that these so-called white people came through this place and was taking all their stuff, you know what I'm saying? Putting diseases and all these type of things upon them. All right, and then coming up with these certain policies and treaties, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, going back on them. All right, that's a good watch. All right. It says massacres and warfare. The U.S. Army and settlers engaged in numerous massacres, particularly during the American Indian Wars. The 1864 Sand Creek Massacre, where hundreds of peaceful Cheyenne and Arapaho, mostly women and children, were killed. Disease. The introduction of Eurasian diseases like smallpox, influenza, cholera by European settlers caused massive population decline. See, these motherfuckers is nasty, man. Came over here, stole this land, bringing diseases and shit with them, man. These things were foreign, all right, to the Jakes that were living here, man, and start killing them off. See, and these are things that we still deal with to this day. But you want to be buddy buddy with Esau. It says cultural genocide policies targeted the erasure of native culture, Salakia, including forced boarding schools, the suppression of language and religion, and forced relocation to reservations. You see, and of course, eventually, a majority of these things are gone. Okay, majority of the reservations and all these things are gone. All right, I'm sure there's probably some still left. I'll have to look into that, but very few, man. All right, the percentage of the native Indians, you know what I'm saying, is far declined. All right. It says forced displacement policies such as the Indian Removal Act forced tribes from their ancestral lands, resulting in the loss of life and livelihood. Intent impact. While debates continue on whether the entire process was a singular planned event, many historians focus on the intent to destroy specific groups or the catastrophic impact of these actions as leading definitions of genocide. It was definitely a genocide. It was definitely something deep, you know what I'm saying? Where these motherfuckers, came through and destroyed our people, all right? As they've done everything else, man. Okay? So, all of us across the board have dealt with this oppression and this deep hate from Esau, man. Okay? And we gotta beware of that, man. All right. And I'm gonna jump in and just jump on that the way he's smooth with the way he speaks and the way he does things. Okay? Because he'll get you. All right, he'll get you. Psalms 55, verse 21, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, you see, but war was in his heart. Perfect example for today. When Trump got in office this second term, what was the things he was telling you? With no wars, gas prices are going to be low and more money and this and that. And sure enough, everything that he said that he was going to do that was supposed to be good for the people, and that persuaded people to vote for him again, he did contrary to that. He did the opposite of what he said he was going to do. You see? Now look, we're in a heavy war with Iran. All right, gas prices are through the roof due to this war, and many more things. You see? That's a perfect example. Okay, and now his talks is blunt as hell. He don't give a damn how nobody feels about what he's doing. All right, he's gonna continue with his mission. All right, what's it called? Operation Epic Fury. Okay, and that's just one example of many over history. Okay, but that's how Esau do you, man. All right, they'll talk to you and butter you up. All right, make things sound good for you. Then when you're in it, now it's nothing that you talked about. They know how to get people, man. It's business, man. It's business, man. You see, what can you do about that? I'm reading back again. Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. See, his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Come on, man. If you can't see through this, man, I don't know. You know, clearly the Lord put a covering over your eyes, man. But I'm gonna jump back to that Sirach 12. Was it 12? Yep. And I'm gonna jump to verse 16. It says, "An enemy speaketh sweetly." See that? An enemy, we already established what an enemy is, who our enemy is. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. Man, he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. See that? Come on, man. He gonna get you. He's gonna get you, man. And everybody that was hand in hand with Esau, man, and trying to be cool, trying to be buddy buddy, and really trusting him and having a heart tied to it in this world, are going to be in for a rude awakening. Are going to be severely disappointed. You see, severely disappointed, man. All right. So take it how you wanna. Okay. And what I got, I'm gonna go last precept, Lord willing. You see, because while all these things were set up for us to go through, okay, Esau, all right, they have taken that and went far beyond the prescribed measure, so to speak. Okay. And they've done some things, you know, taking the manhood from our men, all these things, man. It runs so deep. All right. It runs so deep with the things that this man has done. All right. And how he's, oppressed and, you know, uh, 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 toiled our people, you know. But don't trip, Esau has to pay for it, man. I just did a lesson on my channel. Um, I forget what I titled. I'll get it after this. Lord Williams says Zechariah 1:15 says, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. All right. Esau, the head of the heathen nations, man. It says, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. You see, they pushed the affliction that was due unto us to the extreme. All right. So trust and believe Esau's gonna pay. They're gonna pay for these things, man. Okay? They won't get away. All right. And going into their judgment, where's that? Check out rounding up Esau. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, that may be edifying as well. But that's pretty much it, man. Just for Jake out there, man, that don't get it, man. We gotta understand this white man is a devil, man. And he is our enemy, man. He's not to be trusted, man. You see? You can't even trust your own people. If you ain't in this truth, serving Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man, I don't trust you, bro. All right? Let alone some fucking heathen, all right? what they call Esau, the base of men. All right. How can you trust a low level that don't give a damn about you, that have pressed you for years and years and years? But because now you can get a good job, you think that he your fucking friend. Get your mind right, man. Get your mind right, man. All right. The Lord ain't with all that lovey-dovey, funny bunny shit that you people think, but the Christian church taught you, man. You see? In fact, let's get that real quick, because you people fail to remember that the Lord hates too, and the Lord said He hates Esau. Come on, man. Romans 9:13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. I mean, what more plain do you want? What more plain do you want? You see? So for those of you that don't get it, all right, the Lord hates Esau as well. Okay, there's nothing wrong. Matter of fact, let's see. Let me see. Uh, in Psalms, yep, Psalms 139 and verse 21. It says, "Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? See, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee?" Come on, man. Ain't nothing wrong with us hating these people, man. You see, and anybody else that's contrary to the truth, contrary to you, how about you, outside, man? All right, you know. But that's it. Lord willing, I was edifying. We give our praise, honor, and glory again unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahab, double honors again to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Keep pushing, keep the faith. So shalom and the Bible ball.